Well, good morning, everyone. I wanted to welcome you to the latest in our Building Blocks of Success workshop series. Today's topic is insurance fraud and risk mitigation. And our apologies to those who might be confused about the titles. We had to switch Tuesdays and Thursdays workshop titles due to some scheduling issues, but we're glad you can make it on here today. Again, my name is Brian Hendricks. I'm the Policy and Supportive Services Unit Manager for the Bureau of Small Business Enterprises at the Illinois Department of Transportation. And we're pleased to have Ken Anderson here to present for us, and also Olga De La Rosa, who is a part of our consultant team in districts 1, 2, and 3. Olga is going to take it from here and tell you not only about Ken, but about what we offer and they offer here through IDOT. Thanks, Olga, and take it away.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's workshop. Today, it's being presented by Mr. Ken Anderson from State Farm. Okay, so just a couple housekeeping rules. Please make sure you mute yourself and keep your video off. Enter all questions in the Q&A, not in the chat. We will answer questions throughout the presentation. This session will be recorded and provided to firms in a follow-up email along with additional helpful resources. There may be a short survey following the presentation. Please let us know how we can improve and ideas for future workshops. On today's agenda, we've already gone through introductions, housekeeping, and then we're going to go over IDOT's goals, supportive services and resources. We'll jump into our presentation with Ken on insurance fraud and risk mitigation. We'll go into Q&A and then our closing remarks and evaluation. IDOT's goal is to provide assistance to DBE firms and individuals interested in doing business with the department in ways that ensure equity, access, and transparency. IDOT, in accordance with federal guidelines, strives to facilitate and implement programs that can help current and future business partners open the door to doing business with IDOT. The department works towards this goal in a variety of ways, most notably through the tools available at our resource centers. The supportive services program that is executed through our partnerships with consultants who provide management and technical supportive services, assistance, and corresponding supportive services programs that fall under the umbrella supportive services program. This support is provided at no charge to IDOT's DBE firms, to firms seeking IDOT DBE certification, to Illinois UCP DBE certified firms who have an IDOT contract, and to prime contractors doing business with IDOT. We're going to go over the disadvantaged business enterprises supportive services. Learn and grow with supportive services. While opportunities may increase for certified DBEs, it is not guaranteed. Free programs and resources support firms' goals at all phases of growth. They help with developing technical and management skills, navigate operational expenses, connect with established firms, discover best practices for successful work with IDOT. Visit idot.illinois.gov to find your nearest resource center. Each of IDOT's 9 districts offer essential equipment and resources to conduct business with the agency, which includes computer access, internet scanner, copier, and printer, staff assistance, including support for DBE applicants. These resource centers are free of charge to all firms seeking to do business with IDOT. You can scan the QR code or visit idot.illinois.gov for a list of locations in your district. Contract compliance officers are accountable for EEO and labor compliance on state and federally funded projects. They ensure contractor compliance with state, federal laws and regulations governing the EEO and labor compliance and DBE programs. You can visit idot.illinois.gov and search for contract compliance officer to find a local officer in your district. Technical and management assistance. Ongoing assistance helps DBEs maintain a competitive edge. This assistance is complementary to IDOT's DBE firms or to firms certified in the Illinois UCP that are bidding on IDOT contracts. These services include estimating and bidding, equipment and resources, project site inspection, pre-qualification, bookkeeping systems and credit restoration, bonding and insurance, business and strategic plans, and marketing. Supportive service consultants. So for certification assistants for District 1 through 3, we have Mr. Theo Joyner from Ralph G. Moore and Associates. District 4 through 6, Melissa Hamilton from Synergetic Solutions. District so Army Consulting. And for all technical services for districts 1 through 9 is Mr. Ronald Brown from Gonzalez Companies. Workshop and events. The Borough of Small Business Enterprises brings innovative events to the public with 3 goals in mind: to share skills to become more competitive on IDOT projects, help individuals and businesses work with IDOT, and form strategic partnerships, encourage sharing of best practices, policy and procedure changes. Each district hosts events year-round to help firms do their best work with IDOT. You can visit bit.ly/DBE workshops for more information. Today's challenge, tomorrow's reward. IDOT's annual 2 days challenge, tomorrow's reward TCTR conference provides opportunities for networking, skill building, and knowledge sharing among our vendor network. All firms doing business with the department, including primes and subcontractors, consultants, suppliers, and our various partners are welcome. Our next TCTR is February 21st through the 22nd at the Crump Plaza in Springfield. You can call the number on the screen with any questions. We're going to go over the available programs through IDOT. DBE reimbursement program. IDOT offers 50% reimbursement to qualifying firms in select categories while funds are available. For association, organization membership costs, training or certification class, website capability statement and logo, and much more. You can contact the Borough of Small Business Enterprises to discuss criteria for these limited time funds. The business development program. Qualifying DBEs can receive firm-specific guidance to propel their growth in the transportation industry. Full business evaluation and analysis, tailored training that may be eligible for reimbursement, personalized recommendations to maintain competitiveness. How do you apply? Enrollment opens once per year and 15 firms are accepted annually. Applications for 2024 will open soon. You can visit idot.illinois.gov for more details. Mobilization payments. To account for the preparatory work and operations necessary for the movement of subcontractor personnel, equipment, supplies, and incidentals to the project site, and for all other work or operations that must be performed or costs incurred when beginning work, the contractor shall make a mobilization payment to each subcontractor. The mobilization payment must be made at least 7 days prior to the subcontractor starting work. The mobilization payment to the subcontractor is an advance payment of the reported amount of the subcontract and is not a payment in addition to the amount of the subcontract. Therefore, the amount of the advance payment will be deducted from future progress payments. The amount paid is a percentage of the value of the subcontract shown in the table below. The HCCTP program, the Highway Construction's Career Training Program, boosts participation of diverse individuals in the industry and on IDOT's highway construction projects. Illinois Community College partners offer training in industry, trade, and life skills, such as OSHA 10 certification, welding, forklift operation, first aid, CPR, AED, math for the trades, introduction to electrical, plumbing, sheet metal, carpentry, introduction to tools, and much more. Employment is not guaranteed. However, participants do receive job placement assistance. And here are 4 reasons why HCCTP graduates make ideal hires. They are well trained to fulfill entry-level roles, professional talent with diverse perspectives, eligible to work on IDOT project sites, reimbursement via IDOT training special provisions, TPG. And who can apply for the HCCTP program? Eligibility is open to women, minority groups, and other persons from historically underutilized populations. You must be at least 18 years old, have a high school diploma or GED, valid driver's license, and ability to pass a drug screening. So we're going to go over a little bit about Ringgold. Ringgold is led by our managing partner and president, Michelle Ringgold. We are an Illinois licensed CPA and management advisory firm established in 2005. We are certified as a DBE firm. We combine three major disciplines: auditing and accounting, regulatory compliance, risk management, and management advisory to offer turnkey solutions that maximize cost savings and efficiency. We can deliver under one umbrella the highest quality to our clients by using available resources to provide timely, effective solutions to to reinforce these services. We offer a variety of training options on a customized basis. Ringgold has a proven track record of providing effective management supportive services and has helped secure millions of banking and bonding lines of credits to DBE firms, as well as supporting DBE firms in providing accounting and administrative support that help them sustain and grow their businesses. Our staff includes a talented group of licensed and certified public accountants, certified project managers, and business professionals. So we do help out with the DBE managed support services for districts 1 through 3. And some of the services that we perform are QuickBooks and other accounting systems support, business plan preparation, business plan updates, cash flow analysis, bonding and financing assistance, credit restoration, and much more. So you can contact us for more information. So just a reminder, please remember to enter your questions in the Q&A box. And we're going to go ahead and turn it over to Ken, who will start our presentation for today.
Good morning, everybody. I am Ken Anderson. I've been in the insurance industry for 37 years with 27 years claims experience and then 10 years as an insurance agent. So today we're going to visit with the topic of insurance fraud and risk mitigation. We're going to talk about some signs of fraud and how we as business owners can help try to eliminate that. So insurance fraud is defined as an occurrence in which employers or employees try to make money from insurance transactions via deceptive measures. Second to tax evasion, insurance fraud is the most costly white-collar crime in the United States. And that comes from the National Insurance Crime Bureau, NICB. Maybe some of you have heard of that. This is kind of a crazy statistic, but insurance fraud accounts for more than $40 billion, that's with a B, $40 billion a year in lost claims, wages, and higher insurance premiums, according to the FBI. And of course, those things affect all of us. So we want to try to stay on top of that. So there's two types of insurance fraud. There's hard fraud and there's soft fraud. Hard fraud includes faking an accident, injury, theft, arson, or other loss to collect money illegally from an insurance policy. Soft fraud deals with cheating acts by normally honest people, such as exaggerating injuries or damages due to an accident. So let's talk about workers' comp fraud in the workplace. Workers' comp fraud. The majority of workers' comp claims reported are truthful, but given the statistics, unfortunately, fraud does occur. Claimant fraud, the most popular kind of workers' comp soft fraud, occurs when a worker lies to collect benefits. He or she may claim an injury is work-related, but it isn't. They may exaggerate an injury or secretly continue working elsewhere while collecting benefits from you, the business owner. So now we're going to look at some red flags that we commonly see with workers' compensation fraud. How can you tell if a claim is false? There is no surefire way to identify workers' compensation fraud without proof, but there are some red flags you can look for. Accidents on Fridays or Mondays. Accidents that occur on these days raise a red flag, especially if other red flags appear. Late reporting. Employee delays reporting the claim without a reasonable explanation. Employment change. The injury is reported after disciplinary action, before or after a strike, after job termination, or upon conclusion of seasonal work. A new employee. Statistically, the newer the employee is, the more likely the claim is fraudulent, especially if combined with other red flags. And again, you're going to note in there that it says combined with other red flags. So normally there's a couple things going on. If there's no witnesses, the accident has no witnesses, and the employee's own description does not logically support the cause of the injury. Make note of the alleged accidents with no witnesses, especially if the employee's duties rarely call for him or her to work alone. Conflicting descriptions. The injured worker describes the alleged accidentally differently to the employer and doctor, or it varies from witness statements. Treatment is refused. The employee refuses a diagnostic procedure to confirm the nature or extent of injuries or may not be compliant with therapy. If the employee is hard to reach, if you have difficulty contacting employees at home when they are allegedly disabled, the employee may be working another job while collecting benefits. This practice, referred to as double dipping, constitutes fraud. Medical history. The employee has a pre-existing medical condition that is similar to the alleged work injury. Unusual coincidence. There is an unusual coincidence between the employee's alleged date of the injury and his or her need for personal time off. Using the same doctor or lawyer. Use of the same professionals by a group of employees. If you're noticing that, that's definitely a red flag. Suspicious providers. Medical legal consultants have a past history of handling suspicious claims. Hobbies. If the employee has a hobby that could cause an injury similar to the alleged work injury. So here's some actions. Let's take some action here so we can prevent this kind of situation. Fraudulent claims are a primary factor in driving up the cost of premiums for both employers and employees. If two or more of these red flags are identified, contact your carrier immediately. And really, folks, that's the key. Communication, like the key to all great relationships. Stay in touch with your carrier. You see more a lot of times than what they can see, even when they're investigating the claim, because you're hands-on right there. Let's talk about fighting workers' compensation fraud now. How can you fight fraud and lower your workers' compensation costs? Implement a return to work program. Significant savings may be achieved with a return to work program. Experience shows that injured workers recover faster when they return to work. Returning to regular work usually occurs more quickly when transitional or modified duty is offered to the injured employee. Employers can cut costs by decreasing the amount of time that an injured worker remains out of work. Companies that have implemented early return to work programs can see significant workers' compensation premium savings. Educate employees about the impact of insurance fraud and the importance of early reporting. Make workers' compensation fraud a regular topic of discussion at safety meetings. Utilize flyers and payroll stuffers to advance fraud awareness. Emphasize your tough stance on workers' compensation fraud perpetrators. Keep in touch. Employees who feel valued are less likely to cheat the system. Keep in touch with an injured employee and make it clear you're looking forward to having him or her back at work as soon as they have the doctor's approval. Partner with a reputable medical provider. Pair with a local medical clinic to serve as your company's primary provider to ensure workplace injuries are treated by a reliable physician. Establish accident reporting procedures. Employees and supervisors should be familiar with reporting procedures and keep accident forms on hand. Also, stress the importance of reporting injuries promptly. Investigate accidents immediately. If an accident occurs, investigate the accident while memories are still fresh. Talk to each witness and coworker separately about the injury. Be sure to relay any suspicions about the incident to your claims adjuster. Again, communication is the key. And handling suspicious claims. Neither deny or confirm doubtful claims. Fraud is a serious accusation that, if not handled properly, could put you in the middle of a lawsuit for libel or slander. Give your company the added protection by working with your claims carrier to validate your suspicion and determine if the incident should be reported to the appropriate authorities. Maintain a safe work environment. Initiate a formal safety or injury prevention program to minimize safety hazards. Conduct exit interviews. You should document the work-related activities of the employees who are about to be laid off or fired. Conduct exit interviews with employees that include questions about the employee's physical condition and any on-the-job accidents or injuries that have not been reported. This may help to deter fraudulent claims or refute future false claims. Now we're going to talk about some strategies for fighting fraud. If an accident occurs, instruct supervisors to conduct accident site investigations immediately to confirm what, where, when, why, and how. And again, here we're talking about the immediacy. It's important right away to take action. Communicate frequently, as we've talked about, with the injured employee. Show concern for their well-being. Monitor treatment progress and discuss return to work dates. Communicate frequently with claim contacts. Share information with your insurance company. Share information with your claims adjuster. Adjuster tools. Here's the things that your adjuster can do to assist you if there is a suspicion of fraud. They can coordinate surveillance. They can conduct unannounced in-home visits. They can schedule independent medical exams. They can challenge the medical condition and length of disability. And really, it boils down to working together, like we said before. From providing return to work programs to employees and communication materials, we can help you advance your workers' compensation fraud initiative. And there's some flyers there, some folders, some things you can post at your office that you can see there in the slide that can help with this working together. Insurance coverage options. So these are things that all small businesses should have in place. Again, it depends on business to business, but these are insurance policies that you should consider or have in place, and consult with your agent about what is best for you. You need workers' compensation insurance if you are a licensed business in the state of Illinois. Commercial general liability insurance, umbrella or excess liability. So you may have, for example, $1 or $2 million general liability policies per accident and aggregate, but you can buy umbrella coverage that's going to give you excess coverage over that if you and your insurance agent decide that you may need that umbrella coverage. And think of it, a lot of people don't really know about umbrella coverage. Think about it just like it says, as I described to my clients. An umbrella protects you from a rainy day. An umbrella in insurance protects you and gives you a coverage amount over your initial commercial general liability policy. If you have commercial autos that you use in the course of your business, you need commercial auto insurance. That's different from if you have a personal car at home and you use an automobile for your business, you need a commercial auto insurance policy. Or non-owned auto liability. So that policy is for folks that may use your business vehicles or rent out vehicles in the course of their employment. You want to look into that type of a policy. Professional liability, medical professionals, some contractors, that professional liability policy gives you more than just your commercial general liability policy, and it specializes in your profession. Pollution liability, if you're working in the trades or you're a contractor and you've got a risk of pollution, you definitely want to have that in place. And then contractors equipment insurance. If you've got equipment out there and you need it protected and you're worried about losing something from the work site or something, you need to look into that type of a policy. All right, now we're going to talk about some other issues that may arise and reasons why contractors fail. There could be managerial problems. There could be inadequate accounting, financial, or project management systems, management or personnel changes or complications, business strategy changes, rapid overexpansion and growth, poor owner-led contractor or project selection. This is why, folks, it's always important to have a good accountant to work with, like Ringgold Financial, and just know, if you're adequately equipped to do the job at hand or the job that you bid on. Also, there may be labor and material problems in this post-COVID environment. There's a lot of issues. There's still supply chain issues and things like that. Is there enough labor out there for you to complete the job? These are all things you need to take into consideration when you do bid on a job. Shortage of labor and materials is still a big issue, folks. And then unrecovered cost escalations. More reasons why contractors fail include uncontrollable factors such as you're a lead contractor on a different job that does not pay. Severe weather hindrances. You may be working in a part of the country where, out west, there's severe flooding during the winter, things like that. Unexpected economic failures, difficult contract terms or working environment, changes in the job site conditions, death, illness, or departure of necessary employees, labor shortages or difficulties, material and equipment shortages or price increases. So here's some signs of failure, financial signs of failure. Tight cash flow, receivables turning over slowly, bills are past due, vendors demand cash on delivery, COD, for supplies and materials, Bank lines of credit are borrowed to the limit of their credit. Business plan problems. You may have a problem with your business plan. There's no contingency plan in your business plan or goal for the goals or objectives, and no roadmap for future plans. More signs of failure could include project management problems such as inadequate project supervision, inability to find reasonable prices on change orders, or inability to collect on change orders. Projects are not completed on time. Projects are moving at a slow pace. One or more projects has a claim. Safety violations on the job site. And again, the safety stuff goes back to what we talked about earlier. Make sure your work situation for your employees is safe. That is critical. So now we're going to look at the Illinois Department of Transportation IDOT multi-year program. Where's that? Okay, so these are other signs of failures. There may be poor estimating and job cost reporting, revenue and profit margin decrease, operating losses, loss or reduction of bonding capacity. The contractor bids low to get new work out of desperation. Communication problems are also a sign of failure. Lots of disputes between the contractor and project owner. Poor communication between management and field workers. Loss of loyal customers. The contractor cannot fulfill contracts. Jobs are not done in time or within the established budget, and you can lose customers who you thought that would be with you forever. Avoid default. So these are other signs of failure. Establish a good relationship with your producer and surety underwriter. Manage growth and control overhead. Communicate with the surety if and when problems arise. Understand contracts and their language. Read bond forms and look for difficult or unmanageable terms and conditions. Verify the surety's licensing abilities by checking with the state insurance department. Develop a solid relationship with the surety and remain respectful of their decisions and practices. Use a construction-oriented CPA. Again, Ringgold Financial, one of the best in the business. Someone like that you know, like, and trust. Have a bank line of credit available to support your business plans. Conserve capital and adjust your overhead. Develop a solid relationship with the surety and remain respectful of the decisions. I think we covered this here. Yeah, so that's a repeat slide. Okay, now let's talk about the claims process. To efficiently manage the claims process, a project owner should do the following. And this is where it's so critical to have a good project owner, okay? Verify the validity of the bond before signing the contract. Notify the surety in case of changes to the contract. Notify the surety if problems arise immediately. Allow the contractor time to cure the default before terminating. A lot of times the contractor can do that. And sometimes it's a very simple situation before you have to terminate it. Because if you have to terminate it, you got to go out and find somebody to replace that work that was being done. Notify the surety company if potential default arises and do that in writing. Request an in-person meeting to discuss complaints. Provide records to the surety company when going through the claims process because they want documentation for everything. If the surety company finds the contractor has defaulted on the project, they may take one of the following actions, and this is dependent upon the bond form and the facts of the situation. Assume responsibility for completing any remaining work by hiring a completion contractor. Tender a new contractor to the project owner. Retain the original contractor and provide trained workers and financial help to finish the job if you can. Reimburse the project owner for the amount needed to finish the project up to the penal sum of the bond. If the investigation reveals that the contractor is not in default, the surety company is not obligated to act. That concludes the insurance fraud and risk mitigation portion of the presentation. If you have any questions or comments, you can contact me at the information on your screen. It's been a real pleasure to sit with you this morning. It's awesome always to work with IDOT and Ringgold Financial.
So open the floor for any questions. Let me check the chat to see if for the Q&A. It looks like there's no questions. Are there any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself. take advantage that we do have an experienced insurance agent here on the line that can answer any questions. You can either type them in the chat or unmute yourself, raise your hand, whatever works. Well, Ken, I think you did such a great job that there are no questions. You've answered everybody's questions on insurance fraud. We'd like to thank everybody. We're going to go over a couple closing remarks here. But if you do have a question while I'm going over it, just make sure to go ahead and type it in the Q&A or the chat. So just some available resources from IDOT. There are some events and workshops. The Building Blocks of Success workshop series will continue through April 2024, and you can register via Eventbrite. We will have, there's one more on Tuesday to conclude for January, and then they go on to February, and don't forget our TCTR in February. Our next workshop is January 30th, 2024, I'm sorry. Business and strategic plans, and you can go to the DBE workshop on Eventbrite and sign up. You are able to submit questions before the presentation. Sorry about that. So you can submit questions in advance, and then you can scan the QR code or go on the website. And our workshop webinars are on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@illinois. And here you can view our workshops and webinars. You go to the consultant YouTube playlist, and you can find old workshops, and also today's workshop will be on there soon. So if you need to replay it, you can go ahead and reference this, or as we mentioned before, you'll be able to get a copy of the recording of the event, the presentation, links to resources and programs, upcoming workshops and events, and you can contact information for OBWD staff, consultants, and contract compliance officers. So you can scan the QR code or click the link in the chat to provide feedback about this session. Let's see. Okay. Okay, yeah. So the webinars are recorded. If you miss a webinar, are they recorded access later? Yes, they are. You can go ahead and access them at the YouTube channel, or you can go ahead and email myself or Brian, and we can get you a copy of Tuesday's webinar. So again, we want to thank everybody for joining us today. And thank you for the well wishes. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or Brian, and we can definitely, or if you need Ken's information, you can, if you need an insurance agent and question, feel free to reach out and let us know. I'll put my email in the chat. You guys can contact me directly. Thank you.
Thank you, Olga, and thank you, Ken, and thank you for those in attendance. Glad to see you were able to find your way here. We apologize for the confusion regarding the switch, but we hope you got a lot out of today's workshop, and the video link and the presentation and will be sent in an email hopefully later today. We'll see. If not, then tomorrow. But everyone have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.